So this is all right.
Are we up and running?
Now we're up and running, and we can start.
Awesome.
So there's not many questions I prepared.
That's fine.
So first of all, I don't even know much of you. Like.
You don't, do you?
No, not really.
No, I don't know much about you really either.
No.
So.
I only know that your name is Jack and that you're 28 years old. So.
Correct. I am 28 years old.
Yeah. What did you study? What did you do in the past?
I've done lots of things in the past, but what did I study? Well, I mainly just went through school and did. It was mainly a blur because I wasn't very interested in school that much. And then I went to sixth form and I dropped out of sixth form. I went to college and I dropped out of college. And I went straight into work, mainly doing office jobs. Just, desk job, 9 till 5, the usual shit. And not enjoying it whatsoever. And doing that for about 7 years.
But saving money on the side so you can actually...
always saving, but I never had the kind of... I always wanted to travel, but I never had there was always... I think everyone has a reason to do it.
Yeah.
And I never really had that. I was always in relationships and stuff, and kind of tied down in some way or another. So I just stayed where I was in England, and I never had kind of the balls really to go it alone. So I never believed I could. But
so you turned 28 and then you, or 27, I don't know when you started, and you just went to travel the world?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
well, the first thing I did was volunteering. So I did conservation work, and I was in the Seychelles in September 2017.
Oh, okay.
For 3 months.
That sounds great. How are the Seychelles?
It was amazing.
What did you do?
So we worked with hawksbill turtles, lemon sharks. That's why I got the tattoo.
Oh, okay.
It's a nice reminder.
Sharks, that's great.
And Aldabran giant tortoises, which were endemic to the island. So we would do surveys every day. So we'd go up to the beaches and hike miles and miles every day. Go to the beaches and try and find turtle tracks or nests or failed nests, because sometimes they would attempt to lay eggs and then they'd give up and they wouldn't do it. And then we'd go sharking and catch baby lemon sharks, and we'd catch them and then we'd have to weigh them, measure them, take DNA samples, and then put them back. And that's what we did day to day.
Things for science, so you get paid for doing that?
No.
Not volunteering, but...
I had to pay them to do it.
Oh, okay.
I had to pay to do the course and obviously flights, but we stayed on the island. It's called Curious Island, or if it's French, so Curious, something like that. You'd know, French. So we stayed there, and it was the beach. Have you ever seen the film The Beach? And they've got their own, in Thailand, so they've got their own island. Yeah. It was kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
Just less extreme in the end.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah. So
for 3 months.
3 months. We had dormitories, and we lived basically from here to the doorway from the beach, and you could hear the sea every day.
That's great.
Perfect.
So that's how you really got started into traveling? Got you excited?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards you just started traveling, or went back to England, worked a bit, and then...
Went back to England for Christmas, and then I went to Vietnam in February. And
2019?
The following year, so 2018.
2018, okay.
And then went north to south, and then went to Thailand, and then Australia.
Okay.
So all that was for a total of 6 months. Yeah, so I was only in Thailand for 2 weeks, just went to Bangkok and Chiang Mai, and then I went to Australia and travelled up the east coast from Sydney to Cairns, and then worked for a while, but didn't actually like it very much. So
why? Was it too hot, or the work was shitty?
The work was shitty, and the boss I had was a complete dick.
Okay.
And he was not a very nice person. He was an absolute prick. So I left him and went. I worked somewhere else for a while. I did like removal work for offices, which was okay, but I got very, very homesick, and I was just ready to go home. At that point.
Okay.
So I went home.
Yeah.
Had a break. So I did a lot of partying and drinking and other stuff in that time. If you want to know.
Yeah. But it's all good.
If you want to know more about that, it's up to you.
No, actually, I think everybody knows something about partying. But what's like the funniest story you've had on your world tour? Like, can you remember something that was like that stick in your head, like you will remember ever, always?
Funny story. It's probably how I met my friend Andy in Australia. He was known as the Sesh Gremlin because he couldn't stop partying.
Oh, okay.
And he just drank all the time. And the first time I met him was in a dorm. Where was it? Quite near Mission Beach, up the way on the East Coast. And the first time I actually heard him was because he was trying to get this girl to come into his dorm. So he was trying to get her, like, we were all in, it was a 10-bed dorm, and he was trying to get her into his bed, and she didn't want to. So yeah, he gave up and then went to bed. But then I heard him get up in the night, and he was so drunk, he was like falling all over the place, he was knocking stuff over. And he went to the toilet, and then, because I was awake at this point, because I'm a light sleeper, as I've already told you before.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see him for like half an hour. I was like, where the fuck's he gone? Like, what's happened to him? So I go through to the toilet, and he's there, like slumped over, like this. Completely slumped. And he's absolutely hammered, and then his alarm goes off, or someone's ringing his phone, and he just goes like that. And I'm literally standing there, like, I just can't stop laughing at him. But that's the first time I met him, and it was like the best introduction to meeting a new friend. So we kind of hung out together a lot after that, and got up to some shit.
Sound great.
It was a lot of fun, that guy.
So you told me you're playing guitar pretty good. Learning it for 10 years right now.
10 years.
So what are your plans with the guitar? Do you have any plans?
All my plans initially have failed. So mainly just jamming to myself in my room to Spotify. You know?
If you enjoy it,
being a bedroom rock star.
Yeah, having a good time. I'll go with that.
Yep. Just whatever comes on Spotify, I would try and just play along to the song and try and listen to it by ear and work out the chords and stuff. Yeah. And that's how I felt like I improved, because it helps you with
that's
learning the notes and stuff like that. So it's a cool way to learn.
Yeah, I think that too. That's how I learned many languages, like English as well. Yeah. I've just watched videos about like in English and so on. So I think hearing something and just working with the language or whatever you want to do is like the best way to learn it.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, probably not learning it on school and just figuring out all the tenses and so on.
Yeah.
Just speaking and hearing it.
Yeah. So you like immerse yourself in it.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot easier to take in.
Yeah.
Because now I've got older, I've realised that I'm not as... When you're young, you kind of... stuff just sinks in like a sponge. But now I'm older, like it doesn't happen as much. It's a lot more difficult. But like when you say you're 18, so it's very easy, much easier for you to remember stuff. Yeah,
so you say I should learn as much as I could?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Your Rubik's Cube skills are pretty awesome.
I try to keep on doing that.
Yeah, they're impressive. You play guitar as well, though, don't you?
Yeah, I did play guitar as well for 2 years. Like I started it 2016 probably in Near Eastern, and just bought myself a guitar, and the got to the nearest teacher, but she was a pretty good teacher, and yeah, I learned pretty quickly. She always said, because
you start with like basic chords.
Yeah, like not much, playing little songs, basic chords. Yeah, and I've learned it pretty well, but then at some point, like 1.5 years in it, I just didn't want to practice it anymore.
So yeah, you kind of sometimes reach like a plateau.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, and I was just like, I'm not getting any better, and I'm not seeing any like real improvement.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. Like.
Yeah, that's how it probably went in chess for me as well.
I think it happens in everything, really.
Yeah, you have to push through this plateau, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, try and see it from a different perspective.
Yeah,
a different angle. So yeah,
keep on going.
Yeah, like different techniques. That's exactly what I did. I was on YouTube and I was just looking at different things that I hadn't done before, different chord techniques or octaves, solos and stuff. I mean, nothing. I was never any good at soloing, but yeah, like I tried.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just got to give it a shot.
So you just mentioned earlier that you dropped out of school like twice, I guess, out of high school and out of the...
Yeah, twice. So I finished school at 16, but then I just never knew what I wanted to do, and I still really don't. Like,
okay.
I still don't have much idea of... So now I've just realised that I'm not a career person. I'm just not career minded.
Yeah.
So I went through school and I was just, everything that came up, I'd be like, oh, I'll try that, and I didn't like it, or I'll try this, didn't like it. I just didn't fit in school, really. I didn't feel at ease.
Yeah. Just with the system, or like?
Just, learning, like sitting in class, and listening to a teacher or a lecturer, just talking for such a long time, and I'm not being able to retain the information because it's not how I learn.
Yeah, of course.
But I learn by doing, not by just listening.
Yeah, it's always the best way to learn. I think.
But I think they don't really teach that in schools much.
No, probably not.
And I found a lot of the information I was taught to be pretty much useless for life, like practical.
Yeah.
Say like mortgages or learning how to fix your car, or you don't get taught that in school. Like taxes.
What you have to do like after school if you're not at home anymore, and stuff like this.
Like running a house, running your own
cooking
home.
And stuff like this.
Yeah.
Probably have to. Okay. That's the school way. Yeah, for me, like school was like pretty much. I didn't drop out of school or something, but school most of the time was waste of time. I didn't see a necessity in it. So
you literally finished and then went traveling?
Yeah, it was my plan for like a whole year to go to travel, because I just wanted to have something else than learning right now. I still can't imagine going to study something full time. So doing a dual is like the optimal way for me.
Yeah.
But in this time I really got into books, so I really want to know if you have like any recommendations for books.
Yes.
And
yes, I do.
What this recommendation is about.
Recommendations. So one book that I've read more than any other is 1984 by George Orwell, and it's about a totalitarian society that's completely controlled by the government or the party that's there, and they dictate everything that goes on. And it's about a guy called Winston Smith, who's basically he's in the higher echelon of society. I think he works for the party in some way, but he's basically struggling against this party that he doesn't agree with, and he's trying to find a way out of it. And he falls in love with this woman, and she's trying to fight against it as well. And it's a very like paranoid sort of dystopia. Well, it is a dystopia, but it's very, very good, very interesting, and you can compare it a lot to today's society, like in the West.
Okay.
In the UK, maybe Germany, I don't know, because I haven't been to Germany. Western countries where there's a lot of surveillance, a lot of cameras, CCTV, stuff like that. High security.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. It makes you think. I'd also recommend Brave New World by Aldous Huxley.
Okay.
And that is...
I've heard that one before, but I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, that's also about a totalitarian society, but it's the other way. So it's more... So this also relates to our own culture. It's more about... It's like a soft like control. So it's more about control with drugs and the media and stuff like that. It's making everything superficial and not real, and like art doesn't exist and love doesn't exist and all this sort of stuff.
Okay, so it's very, very logical society.
Logical, yeah, and like restraining in the sense that people can't express themselves properly. They can't experience something as real and like authentic.
Yeah.
It's all. It's not. It's just fake. It's all. Yeah. Controlled by the party that's there.
So it makes you think, like in this life, what you want to do, what you want to express yourself. Yeah. Because you have the chance to do it.
Exactly.
And in this society you can. Yeah.
But in these societies you can't do that because they're always watching what you're doing and controlling you in some way or another. Yeah. So I'd recommend those books. They kind of open my eyes a lot. And dystopian fiction for me is I've always been interested in, like the Hunger Games, for example. Yeah. You read the Hunger Games?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I've seen everything. It's great. It's good movies, good books.
I really enjoyed those. And like, I'm a big fan of Stephen King.
Yeah.
Like Stephen King.
I know that.
And The Shining. I read The Shining, and I think that was one of the few books that actually genuinely scared me when I was reading it. I didn't want to turn the pages. It gets to a point, I don't want to spoil it too much. It gets to a point where there's a woman in the bathtub in the hotel, like zombie woman. You remember? And he's this Stephen King, like, so he describes things so well, and you can see it, you see it in your head.
Imagine it.
And like she's creeping towards the kid. I can't remember the kid's name. And it's just right there in your mind. It's very psychological and
So he's just like...
Don't read it late at night, that's what I recommend.
So he's a really good writer in describing things and
Absolutely.
so on. Yeah, that's
great storyteller.
Making books good.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's a genius. You know, he's absolutely one of my favourite writers of all time. So yeah, Salem's Lot also. That's about vampires. If you like that sort of thing.
Okay.
He's got a vast. He seems to write like multiple books a year now. What about you? What are you into?
If I read, I just read things about self-development.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Software development, did you say?
Self-development.
Oh, self-development. Okay.
Just I've got like very, very many books, like probably 20 or 25 books, which I read from 2 years ago to now. And the best ones probably were The Miracle Equation from Hal Elrod.
Oh,
it's
I've heard
the idea of unwavering faith and extraordinary effort combined getting to a miracle, so that you ever always have faith in yourself and in your ideas and what you're doing, and put in the effort that this faith is going to be realized, that your dreams are going to be realized. So that really was a great book.
So you commit to something and then
you commit first, and then you don't get off of it, because you have the extraordinary faith that someday you're going to do it, and you put in the work like 5 hours. Did you find it
beneficial? Did it work for you?
I think it was beneficial, but I mostly knew how that it was like that, but he just put it into words very well and described it more in detail.
Yeah.
So I've got the idea as well from Gary Vee, Like it's basically the same idea. Gary Vee is like a big, probably billionaire from America, self-made billionaire, and he is always telling the same things. So if you want to, first it's about happiness, and then doing what you love besides what you do right now, besides the work. So it's someday that what you love can finance your life.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically Gary Vee, and he's talking much about business and money, and he's a great guy. I really recommend.
So do you want to be a self-made billionaire?
Well.
Or do you want to be do you want to have like a job that's also like a hobby or something you love, but also it makes you enough money to get by?
Yeah.
But you're happy with it, or would you rather have like Elon Musk? Would you rather have all that money to invest in other things and like expand on ideas? Or be happy with one thing?
Probably would more be like Elon Musk, because I'm pretty interested in competition, so I want to be better than the other ones.
Yeah.
And I guess the market is...
That's good motivation.
Yeah, the market is pretty good for this. And I think that business and entrepreneurs style is good for me, because I like to have the responsibility for something. If I've got the responsibility for something, I'm more engaged into it, and I just like doing stuff on my own, like or decide what happens now. And I've got to teach very much of this from my mom and my dad, who have also a business themselves, so it's kind of in my DNA as well.
Yeah.
So
the self-help books you read, are they more business orientated, or are they regarding like happiness as well?
Most of them are more like happiness, but many of them are also going into business. So and both is actually pretty close normally.
Yeah.
Because very many successful people nowadays are really happy because they did what they love, and because they were really good at it at some point. Yeah. And at some point they're getting rich. Like, I don't know, Warren Buffett did it for years, and now he's famous for saving money.
Exactly.
This is the one thing you have to know. You have always to have in mind, if you want to build up something big or do something what you love, it takes time. So that's why unwavering faith is very important.
Yeah.
It really does take time to get from 0 to 100. I see it on YouTube, I see it on whatever I do. I say it's not going to work in like 6 months, it's probably not going to work in a year, but it's going to work in 10 years. So I'm thinking long term.
Committed.
Yeah, and I commit to it. If I do something, then I'm doing it real, or I just don't do it.
And you play a lot of chess, so you've always got the long game in mind.
Yeah, I've got the long game in mind, that's absolutely right. Chess probably have helped me in many situations in my life, especially with getting calmer, because in my young ages, like a kid, I was pretty energetic and pretty...
it teaches you to focus, I guess.
Yeah, pretty rough to handle as a child.
So it keeps you more grounded.
Yeah, it kept me grounded, and then with the self-development books there came meditation and all these tips that really...
So you meditate as well?
I don't do it right now, but I did, and I probably should be doing it more, but if I see the situation, like we're just sitting around in the bus or something like this, I'm just focusing and try to think of nothing, just relaxing. And
meditation's always caught my eye as something I'd like to commit to.
Yeah.
But I seem to never be able to get into it. Like I can't focus on it. Like I can't.
Meditation is really hard. That's when you have to really practice it.
Yeah.
So there are many tools which can help, like probably an app that guides you through the meditation. But
like someone talking to you.
Yeah,
like that.
it can help, but I figured out that if I want to meditate, I want it to be really quiet and I want to concentrate on me.
Yeah.
And
because you concentrate on your breathing, right? Is that how it works?
that's what most people
one
tell
part
you.
of it.
Yeah, like concentrating on your breathing, so you cool down your body, or realizing everything, realizing how the blood is going through your body, or the energy just go through you. And when I'm really meditating and it's good, then I'm feeling this energy going out of me. I feel it, and I always like to imagine it's like a ball that is around of me, this energy, and with every step I take this energy off, but with meditation I create more energy for myself.
Oh, I see.
So I'd like to
So you feel like you can control it?
Yeah, I've got more energy then. I felt like the
more
energy is
alive.
coming to me, and
Yeah.
so as I did it was probably my happiest times, because I woke up at 5 o'clock, then I just drank stuff, brushed my teeth, also drank just water because it's making you awake pretty quickly, brushing my teeth, then doing some exercises, meditation, reading, and writing as well in the morning. And then I had a really good breakfast, and then I went to school, and I was like so pumped up every time I was in school with my friends. And
you feel alert and ready.
Yeah, and then I just, that was the time I did all these wheels that what we did on the beach today.
Right. Yeah.
I just did it in school. I didn't care. I just did it everywhere. I was so energetic at that time.
Yeah.
When I was around people.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you come home in the afternoon, you feel like you've done something yet for yourself.
Yeah.
So.
And you've been focused the whole day, and you've learned what you need to learn. And stuff like that.
So you can.
That's like the opposite to me at school. So I was never focused.
You can just cool down. But in school, it was like when I'm in school, I have to be there so I can also like give my best or just focus.
Yeah.
But at home, I was like on the complete opposite. Like I never did something.
I could never. I had sleeping problems when I was a kid, so I'd always go to school exhausted. I think it was my own fault though, because I was skinny now, but I used to be even skinnier when I was a kid, with a very high metabolism, and I would eat all the time. And my favourite food to eat before I went to bed was like cereal with sugar on them, and the sugar would keep me awake, and I wouldn't be able to sleep. So I'd be an insomniac child who wouldn't sleep, and I'd go to school, and I'd be too tired to learn anything, and I just wouldn't care. I just want to go home so I could play video games or go out with my friends, and it'd just be like that every single time. So I was never that committed to school because I never felt that interested because I wasn't sleeping. I never felt pumped up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how you felt.
Yeah, but that was at the best times of my school. That was this time, but it didn't matter at which time I went to bed. So if I went to bed at 12 and woke up at 5, I was same pumped up as I did if I would have went at 10.
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Shit.
Because I've got up so fast, drank stuff. I was pumped up at school, but probably with sleeping less in the afternoon, I just was like useless, useless, shitty thing laying in my bed.
I was just more excited to go home more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good time with friends and stuff at school, and people say school is the best years of your life. I mean, I don't agree with that.
I cannot agree with that.
I think that's a sad way of looking at life.
Yeah.
You think your childhood years of being at school are the best time. I just think.
Yeah, I always think people who say this, I don't want to offend anybody, but people who say this did something wrong in their lives. What?
I was gonna say, but you're going to. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, but
what?
If you,
I agree.
Your day plan is like the school dictates you what your plan is going to be for the day.
Yeah.
And after school you're just free. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you have way more and higher chances that you're going to be happy. than being in school where somebody dictates you to do what you want. To do what he wants actually.
Yeah.
So I actually think who thinks school was the best years of their lives are doing something wrong in their lives, and they have to overthink it.
I agree.
It's just like these are people I actually don't really want to be around because they are doing something wrong in their lives.
Yeah. I think the same thing, and I just if you think it's the best time of your life, you're not really living the life you have now to its fullest.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, you're free. You're basically free, apart from going to school and stuff. You can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah.
I mean, within reason.
They are probably
you have no responsibilities.
Yeah. Really. They probably see.
That's probably what they want.
Yeah, the wrong side of the medal. Like you can either see it now I'm free, or you can see it now I have to do taxes, get my own home, build a family, whatever, and see the stressy part.
Well, you don't have to, but I see what you mean.
That's probably they're looking for the adult is a bad thing for them, probably. Like, oh no, now I have to do everything on my own. But for me, it's like, oh yes, now I can do everything on my own.
Yeah. So you've got your independence.
It's all mindset. Mindset is one of the most important things in life.
It can be quite scary to realise you've got all these things to do and to learn as an adult, but I think it's liberating to realise these things and actually do things yourself and not have to rely on someone else to do them for you.
Yeah.
Because you just learn so much, and people can do. I think most people can do far more than they realise.
Yeah.
And they underestimate themselves.
Yeah, probably.
So, and I certainly did that years and years before I travelled, for example, and underestimated my own ability, because I listened to other people, like an ex-girlfriend at the time, who said to me, you're never going to go travelling alone, you can never handle it. That's what she said, and I believed her, because I'm an idiot. So I believed her. And then eventually I realised I could, and here we are. So, it's all in your mind.
Mindset is a very important thing. That's probably what helps if you read self-development books, because your mindset is getting washed over. You think about stuff and you realize that you have whatever you want to do, you can reach it if you put in the work and you have the faith in yourself. But the one thing that I always missed was putting in the work. I knew at home that I wanted to do something, that I wanted to accomplish something, that I wanted to get something, but I never did something about it because I felt like school, the structure, my home, something was holding me back. And now that I'm here, I feel free. And now I'm starting it, now I'm doing it, now I'm going on to it. And I'll keep going. I'll say you that.
Good man. It's just, it's pretty good for an 18-year-old to be thinking like that. It's shows a lot of maturity.
You can also think about life as a strategic game with your own rules and your own accomplishment. So you have one life if you're probably happy.
It is like a game if you think about it. I mean, it's kind of like a game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, figuring things out and problem solving and
getting better at
gaining experience, like an RPG. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people might think of it that way.
Create new situations, think about them.
Yeah.
It's a big
character customization. Different clothes.
You've got everything in your real life.
Whatever. Yeah. So.
Yeah, life is a great game. I actually think about it, but what do people do
great game with one life. That's it.
Yeah, one life. That's what you have to be aware of. That if you're dead, you're dead. If you can't change it anymore. So in the realization of death, many things become clear. Because
absolutely, I know that from experience.
From experience?
So one of the main reasons why I decided to travel as well, so my dad passed away in 2016, February 2016, and my grandma did 5 months later.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry for that. I didn't know that.
That's okay. Thank you. But yeah, death makes you see things in a different perspective, like in a different way. Because I'd never had anybody close to me pass away before, and it makes you just see things in a completely different light. It makes you realise how fragile life is. So you decide to take more chances and do things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So you can either like be sheltered and stay at home and not want to go out and just not want to do anything, or you can just decide, right, I'm going to do this now because tomorrow it could be all over, you know, it could be the end. So it can happen so suddenly.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I decided to travel too. So yeah, like I said before, everyone has their reasons. So that was definitely one of mine. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard reason, but it's hard to talk about that actually.
Yeah, I can understand.
But it's for everybody. It is you better realize that without experiencing it.
Yeah,
because you probably.
That's why I completely understand people who've never experienced it, because it's very hard to imagine.
Yeah, of course.
So
just imagine your mom passing away, and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Then you think about it, and
but then you realise just everyone is fragile. Really, it's people can be there 1 minute and then they're gone, and they leave a legacy behind, and you try to make them proud even though they're not there, so that's sort of bring it down.
No, I think it's interesting. I wanted to go in this direction because everybody has his reasons why he's doing what he does, and
now you know.
Yeah, I know now. It's good to know.
Yeah.
I actually believe we've gone pretty far today.
We've done pretty well, I think.
Yeah, we did pretty good. We both learned of each other, I guess.
Yeah.
Only me a bit more, but that's okay because I'm the interviewer, I guess.
Well, thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you very much for being my first interview person.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, very thankful for it to be you.
I like Stoicism simply because it actually does help.
Yeah.
It's proven to help people in very tough situations. Have you ever read the story? There's a woman in the US Army. So she was kidnapped, I think, by the Taliban. She was held hostage. I think she was there for about a week or so, until she was eventually rescued. But they tortured her. They raped her. They did all this horrific stuff to her. But she said that because of Stoicism, because she used to read a lot of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, because of Stoicism, it actually, all she had in her head were these quotes and stuff from Stoic philosophy that basically said that she's in control of her body, her mind. They cannot take that from her. It's hers, and they cannot claim it. And so that's what kept her focused, that she kept believing. She was believing the whole time that she was going to be saved, she was going to be rescued. These people can only hurt her physical body, or harm her physical body, but not her mind. They can't take that from her. So she got through it. Yeah, she was rescued, and I wish I knew her name. I don't know, unfortunately. But there are many stories like that.
It's the same with
terrible situations.
Yeah.
Like,
the Nazi time.
Yeah.
With the Jews, there's also one guy who said his mind was still with flowers, and he believed into the woods and the nature, and they couldn't take it from him. It's all what, of perspective.
It is, yeah, and it's having strength of mind. I think that's basic premise: strength of mind and character.
Yeah.
So not allowing yourself to be turned or manipulated. You're focused on what you believe in and what you are in control of. So yeah, it's a cool philosophy. It certainly helps.
Yeah, it helps.
I wish more people read it.
Yeah, more people would know about it.
Because I think it would really benefit millions.
It's so much about.
They taught it in schools. I think.
Oh my God, life, world would be like a way better place.
Yes.
Holy shit.
100%. And it would cut down. I think it would really cut down on depression, anxiety.
Yeah.
It would certainly mental health. It would definitely help.
People in tough situations would get better along.
Yeah.
Like probably cancer or something.
Yeah.
I know from Hal Elrod, he had cancer twice. Yeah, one time.
Who was that, sorry?
Hal Elrod did the author of Miracle Equation and The Miracle Morning.
Okay.
So he's not talking about Stoicism in his books, but it's the same way probably.
Okay.
He just, one thing he always did was, if something happens to him, bad happens to him, he gave himself a time in which he could be upset. And at one point, he just realized it does not help to be upset. So he had like a really severe car accident first, in which the doctors told him that he wouldn't be able to walk anymore. So he immediately accepted this situation and went on doing what he could to be walking again. So the doctors were thinking he is like mentally screwed right now because it's such a severe thing, but he was mentally so healthy that no one, that this situation actually made him stronger. That this situation actually hadn't any effects on him.
Yeah.
But except of the challenge that he wants to walk again in.
And he did.
But yeah, and now he's running marathons all the time. And then he got cancer, went in with the same things, came out again, and after that he's talking in the Miracle Equation of it. He got cancer again, the most severe form of it, with a percentage of 15% of surviving.
Wow.
Probably, or 30%, I don't know, but very, 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 very less. And he had to do like a pretty severe chemotherapy for several months, just away from family. He had 2 kids and his wife.
Which can make you very ill as well.
Yeah, he just had to stay in a hospital, near a hospital, and he's just mentally stood it through, worked hard, always kept his routines and stood through it, and now he's clean of cancer again.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's an amazing person.
It's a lot of respect to
Yeah.
anyone who can go through all that and make it through the other side.
Yeah.
And just staying strong throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. I mean, it's very.
That's the unwavering faith and the extraordinary effort. So he had faith in going again, and he did everything he
Never
could.
giving up.
Yeah, and he did everything he could physically to be able to walk again. And that's what combined it to a miracle.
Yeah.
The doctors called it a miracle. Yeah, that's what
I
happened.
guess it is. Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah, and Ryan Holiday actually had like a similar situation. Was it Ryan Holiday or it was Tim Ferriss? I don't know, one of these two. Really severe accident. He were in a big concern, a big firma.
It was in a bad accident.
he was in a big concern, like working in a big company. Yeah, a really big company. He had his best sales. He was one of the best at his company, and he was driving home from his best year, from the celebration of his best year. He's driving home, car accident because of a drunken driver, just completely messed, and it was quite a similar story. He recovered, made all of them look stupid, and now he's even more famous because he didn't stay in that company but did what he wanted to do, but because that's what such an accident makes you realize. Now he's a writer. I think it was Tim Ferriss. He experiences very much with drugs and like
psychedelics.
Yeah, psychedelics, and he thinks very many of them are very useful.
I agree. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I never got into that too much.
Magic mushrooms, I think, are slowly being augmented into like to help with depression.
Yeah, something like that.
And MDMA as well, like in small doses.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very beneficial.
Yeah.
I think, mushrooms, for example, can give you a very, very positive experience. For a lot of people, it's like a reset on their mind, on their brain.
Yeah.
Like hitting a reset button. So
yeah.
They can be very down, very, very depressed, and they can get themselves into a comfortable space with friends and stuff, and take magic mushrooms, and they can just have this positive experience, and it can cure their depression.
Yeah.
So it's been known to happen.
Yeah, he's testing everything out. What is like organic.
He's been a human guinea pig.
Yeah, that's what he is, and he's wanting to do more of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've only tried mushrooms once, and I don't think I took enough, because I didn't really have a very lengthy experience. I've always wanted to try LSD, like acid, but I've never been able to find it. Wherever I've been, I've never come across it. But they say that you don't find it, it finds you. So I guess at some point.
Yeah, at some point you will find it.
Then come across it.
then take some LSD.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to music like the Beatles, like Jimi Hendrix, which is LSD influenced. And I've read books like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Chris Thompson. That's also one of my favourite novels, by the way. I've got to say earlier. It's a very funny book, but that's very drug influenced, like psychedelics and that sort of stuff. And reading a lot of stories like on Reddit, things like that, you know, when you're bored, you're just browsing, like, let's read these stories, like drug stories. And it just seems like a very interesting drug that's so, when you're sober, it's so impossible to be able to comprehend and to imagine, like the visuals and what you hear and stuff like that, like entering different dimensions and shit like that, like just really crazy stuff.
Yeah, probably a bit scared of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scared too. I mean, it's fucking nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
And DMT, that's also one that's piqued my interest. I've read a lot about. So yeah, I've just never come across it so far on my travels. So maybe one day it'll find me. Who knows?
I think so.
It'll find you.
Probably, but I probably will kindly refuse.
You like being sober, right?
Yeah, I really like being in charge of what I do and of what I think.
So, I respect that completely.
That's why also I'm scared of drinking too much alcohol.
But with alcohol, if you have any bit of intelligence, which I know you do, you figure out how much you can handle.
Yeah,
but
but
a good level and you feel good.
I always have that feeling that I don't need alcohol to be a really nice person to be around and to do like extroverted stuff.
Right.
I'm the one dancing in the club like the whole time, even though I'm not drunk or something like that.
So you don't need it.
Yeah, because I just don't care what people think of me.
That's great.
I do what I want to do.
That's great.
So I'm drinking my Malz beer and just going crazy on the dance court.
That's great, man, because when I was 18, I was insecure as fuck. I was anxious, constantly self-conscious.
Yeah, that's why we should read self-development books in our early years. That's why we should do it in school.
And I didn't do that.
No, because nobody gets at it with 16. Like,
no.
The one way I got it was through YouTube. I've watched one.
Different generation, you see.
Yeah, I've watched one YouTuber gaming videos, Fortnite, or in this time it was Castle Clash actually? No.
Ninja.
No, it was Trimax. It's the German version, but it was. Oh, what did it play? What was it called again? The one game from Supercell.
I don't know. This is
Supercell has many games.
I don't watch these guys.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed watching him, and then he uploaded one video in which I don't know what it was called, but I was interested in it because I realized that so much is going wrong and I want to change something.
Yeah.
So he put it in his title or something, and it was book recommendations and saying that we should read. And he put some of the books in the description, and I ordered the first book on this site, and it got me into self-development.
And that's what got you started.
That's why I got started, and I'm still so thankful for that. I can't imagine what would have been without this video.
You remind me a lot of my friend back home, because he's very similar mindset to you. So he doesn't drink either. I mean, he sometimes smokes weed. Yeah, sometimes.
I would like to smoke weed as well because I think
that would be suitable for you.
Yeah, because I think weed is not is better than alcohol, too much of it.
Yeah, and you don't get hangovers.
Yeah, it's making you more chill.
Yeah,
and not more excited or something.
I mean, you can still get paranoid and anxious, but if you're in a very good environment and you're having a nice time anyway, you'll be fine. It only makes the experience better.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah,
the same as alcohol.
That's why I wanted to try it with my father, but we like he told me to.
Just don't be like Sven. Smoke it one day and then just smoke it every day.
No, probably not.
Just don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, probably not.
Get addicted to it. Just every now and then. Maybe.
Yeah, just or try it once.
Try it.
Think like, oh, nice experience, but. It's once is okay.
If you enjoy being sober, then stay sober.
Yeah, probably. Do that.
It's a good mindset, and it's a very focused mindset.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
Yeah.
But I like to experiment. I like to try things.
Yeah, me too.
I guess my mum would be very disappointed in me if I told her the things I've done. She'd be very upset. But I mean,
oh, mine would be. What did she do? I guess I've done it as well. That would be something my mom would say. Or my father. Or my father. They're just.
Oh, they'd be very cool with it.
Yeah, they are very cool. That's why I said to my father, like, I guess I want to smoke weed more than I want to drink much alcohol.
Yeah.
So I told him that once, and then he said, "Okay, then let's go and smoke together." And I said, "Okay, we'll probably do that before I go." And one day he comes to me and says, like, "Okay, like we can do it today. I've got some." And I have no idea how he got it.
Fucking legend.
No idea how he got it.
That's so great.
Yeah.
You didn't smoke?
No, I didn't. I was a little bit scared, and there was not so much time to do it because I'm like doing very many stuff in Germany, many things in Germany.
You don't want to rush with something like that.
I didn't want to, but I also was scared. I have to admit it. There would have been a chance to do it actually, but I also was scared, and didn't take the action. I wasn't proactive. If he would came to me again and said like, let's smoke it now, I probably would have said, okay, let's try. But I wasn't proactive. I didn't want to do the stab. But we're probably going to do it when I come back. But it's going to take a while.
But you say you're planning on going to Vietnam at some point.
Yeah.
So in Vietnam, you will come across weed a lot. It's everywhere.
But I probably don't
you
want.
Probably won't do it there.
Yeah, don't want to do it in this environment.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And I don't know what is in it and how clean it is and so on.
It's. I mean, when I was smoked it was fine. Like, it wasn't. A lot of it wasn't good, but
it was enough.
Yeah, it was enough, and it's not strict. And we can smoke it in all stores and things like that. Nobody really cared. And everywhere I went, people just kept giving it to me. I wasn't even trying to find it. I was just being given it. Like there was a Canadian guy, and he was saying, because he was going to. He was flying to Thailand, and he was worrying because he thought he had more in his bag, and he was rummaging through it, and he was like, oh shit, I hope I've took it all out, because if he gets caught with it, he's fucked. He's instantly in a fucking jail cell.
Yeah.
And he was like, right, here it is. I'll put it under your pillow. There you go. You have it. I was like, okay. It's just like,
a good pack of weed.
It's a couple of grams. I mean, it was and he was still rummaging through, trying to find more, like, if there was any more. But yeah, I think he was okay. I never heard from him again. I'm not hoping he.
No, he's not in jail right now.
But there was, I met so many people with fucking a joy for drugs. Oh my god. In Laos, for example, there was a guy I met called Eric, and he was German actually. And, so we met in a place called 4,000 Islands, which is right in the south, just after the border. Just before the border, Laos to Cambodia, and he bought some magic mushrooms, and he was like, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna put them in my bag in case they search my bag. I'm gonna strap them to my balls. So he's gonna strap these magic mushrooms to his nuts and cross the border. And I was like, mate. You probably don't even have to do that, because they didn't even search my bags. They didn't search anyone's, but maybe one day I'd have a sniffer dog, I don't know. But he was like, yeah, alright, I'm going to shove them to my nuts, just to make sure.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
So I'm hoping he got through. I think he did. He was very passionate about weed. Like, he was like, you know, like in Lord of the Rings. In the books, there's a guy, there's a wizard who lives in the forest, and he's like at one with nature and stuff like that. He reminded me of him, because he was always talking about growing weed, growing his own weed, and he did. And he was telling me so much. He was like a friggin' weed wizard or something.
Yeah, like a shaman.
Yeah, shaman, that's it. That's exactly it. There's so much knowledge, and I was just like, he was very passionate about it. I've never known anyone so passionate about weed. All the different types, all the varieties. Yeah. I was mind blown. Yeah. It's intriguing, yeah. Meeting new people, traveling,
Yeah.
You find out so much.
Yeah, it's great.
Like Sven. Like, he told me not to say anything.
Yeah.
He was telling me some of his fight stories, right? Oh, jeez.
Fight stories?
It'd be better if he told you, but I mean, like, he's done some damage to people.
Yeah, I mean, he did judo pretty well, so I guess he condemns people pretty good.
Yeah,
you
like street fights.
Yeah, I think if he's ready to tell it to someone else, he can come to me, but I don't feel like knowing about it. I can't imagine what
that's an idea for the next podcast.
Yeah. Nobody knows who Sven is, but I just don't need to know. I can imagine him being a machine. Earlier.
I totally believe it. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I'm not a fighter.
I mean, he was a
judo
national team in Netherlands. So probably just leave him.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
I should probably have told you the time that I nearly died, actually.
Oh.
And I didn't think of that. I mean, I wasn't hurt. It was more of like being very, very close to potentially getting stung and then dying. I don't know.
Getting stung. What does getting stung mean?
Is it like, you know, like a wasp that has a stinger and they sting you? So that's getting stung.
Okay.
So this is in the Seychelles. When I was volunteering, and when we first started, we had safety briefings, right? Health and safety. And one of the things we had to watch out for, so among the centipedes, that fucking bit me as well, I won't go into that. They're asshole centipedes, they're fucking ridiculous. Blister bugs, and there were these shells that were poisonous, and if they stung you, I think in about half an hour you're done. Your whole body shuts down. And they're very pretty, they look very, very nice, colourful, vibrant. Like, for a tourist, you'd want to pick them up and put them on your shelf. But one day we were doing a survey down the beach, and I completely forgot all this. I had a moment of sheer stupidity, and I saw this shell, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. I think I'll collect that and take it home. And I pick it up, and I hold it like, so with my finger and my thumb like this. So there's two like exits on the top of the shell, like two holes. And then suddenly, as soon as I start picking it up and hold it, this hook comes out. So there's something alive in there, it's highly toxic. Hooks come out and it's doing this, it's trying to get to my finger. And it's like that, and I'm like, fuck, I just drop it like that. And yeah, so at that moment I realised I was actually very close to dying. That was one of the times. I've nearly died. I nearly had two severe motorbike accidents in Vietnam. I had one motorbike accident in Vietnam, but it wasn't that bad. I crashed in Indonesia, motorbike as well. I think that's probably it so far. Two motorbike accidents, two really near misses that could have been fatal. Yeah.
Yeah,
and nearly, and then near having a 2-meter lemon shark, big mother shark, right beside me, swimming past me, getting caught in a net, and then it was so powerful it bit through the net, so it left a massive hole. That was, and that was in the dead of night when we were sharking, so I couldn't even see it, barely even see it. Yeah, so there's been some moments of close
stabs.
Yeah, but I've been very lucky. I know I've been very, very lucky.
Yeah.
But that's traveling, I guess.
For me, I haven't been nearly dying so far.
Anything close that's made you think like, oh shit, like that would have been so much worse?
There was one close thing in Germany where I was driving a motorbike as well. Like, it can go 125 on the first one. So I was actually driving with Emily. We were going from down to the school, I guess, from the city to the school, and there was like a left turn. So this is the road. This is the main road. It's like a big road where you can drive 70, and we were here, and some cars are going like the left way, and others go past, and they're going right, and we wanted to go left. So there are many cars coming, so normally it's like not too much of time. So I wanted to grab my chance at one point and drive past. I looked right, there was a car looking like going to the front, and there came one car from there. And as this car passed, I just wanted to drive, and I thought the red car coming from there was going up, but it was actually going left as well. So we were like some centimeters of my front wheel hitting the back of the car. And Emily was like, oh, but I didn't see it because I looked right and thought, okay, it's going to pass. Then I looked left and there was this car just passing by. Then I drove and the car was left, and it was close, but it wasn't like a high speed, so there wouldn't have happened much. Probably to the motorbike, but not to me, or not to Emily. But it would have been bad for our relationship if I would have made this mistake.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't be here today.
No, probably. And what's the other thing? Yeah, then I actually had a motorbike accident in school, in learning it. So there was also a left turn, like a normal street left turn, and I've been trying to. So I was learning how to drive turns, curves, because I couldn't. My teacher told me that I couldn't. Just driving.
Just doing a turn.
No, not 180 degrees. Just
degrees.
No, not just a normal road that I drive at the inside and this one point and then go out again, and so. But I couldn't do it pretty well, and so I messed it up at this point. Came onto the green stripe, then my front wheel just went directly to the front, and there was like this barrier, which is on the road. What is it called? I don't know in English.
Not safety barrier.
Yeah, probably safety barrier. And I just.
They call it safety barrier until you actually hit it.
And I frontally hit it. Just frontal like at 50 kilometers per hour. I immediately stopped. There was like 50 to 0, and I flew backwards onto the street. And the motorbike was completely broken.
And you were fine?
I had nothing.
You were okay?
Yeah, I just had a little.
Lucky boy.
Yeah, just I fell onto here, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So
same as mine,
I've got a little scratch on my helmet, which reminds me of it. And yeah, my teacher told me if this safety barrier wouldn't have been there, nothing would have happened, because like there's a little hole, and afterwards it's going up. So it's like this, and there's normal grass. So I just would have driven in there, and nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
And he was mad about that. Nothing happened to me. He said like probably like just breaking the little finger of the left hand would have been enough for him, but nothing happened to me, and I crashed his motorbike completely.
Oh my god!
So he was mad about that.
Yeah, I bet he was.
But in afterwards, I probably shouldn't say that, but it was high adrenaline experience, and I'm someone who really likes high adrenaline. So afterwards, it was like, okay, well, it was okay. I probably wouldn't do it again, but nice job.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
It's a miracle that you got out of that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't have anything. Just my arm got a little scratch, and then the funny story about it is that the police came, and it's like we didn't want it to the police, so I got onto the car of my teacher. He drove me back to his office. Then his wife came and took care of me, and he drove back with his bus to get the motorbike. But at the same time, someone driving by called the police, so he came back and there was police, and so police came to his place at his office and checked out the motorbike, and they were asking, yeah, all good, all good. They just had to write down everything, and so it's like they said it's a crash for the Versicherung for. If you have a car, you normally have if you have an accident, somebody else is paying it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not too severe, you know.
Yeah, it's like.
Versicherung. I don't know what it's. Wait, I Google it.
I can't think of the word.
I Google it. Insurance. Driving insurance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he told us it's like. Insurance going to pay it, but because it's only like their little thing, the blinker is gone and they broke something off, but it really just was completely broken. There was nothing to move it anymore.
Wow.
Though he afterwards said, I've just got them out of very much paperwork right now, and me as well.
So lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky. Except the bike.
Yeah, except the bike. Like he hadn't any insurance on it, so he had to pay it himself. But that's what it's for, and that's why I failed on. I failed on doing the car exam, the practice part, once. So that's where he got his money back.
For your driving test.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where he got his money back.
So you got it back in the end.
Yeah, like the motorbike was worth more, but he got a little obolus.
Yeah. I'm so glad I don't have to do my test or anything now. That's one thing I like about being older. You don't have to worry about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or like doing a driving test and.
Yeah, if you don't want to do one, like if you want to do like a hobby and you have to do a test for it.
Yeah.
Like probably like surfing or golfing or something. Then it's fine because you want to do it. Yeah, it was okay. But near-death experience besides that.
The one that scared me the most was it's the one in Vietnam. Because I'm doing a high van pass, and that's from Hue to Hoi An, and going down the highway quite fast. I was probably doing about 80 kilometers an hour. Which on a scooter, it feels quicker than it probably is. But I was flying down this highway, and there was this woman in front of me on a scooter, and she was indicating to go right at this turn. And I was directly behind her. I thought, by the time I get to her, she'd have gone. But what does she do? So she doesn't turn, she just stops dead where she is. In the middle of the road, fuck knows why. No idea why. I never had the time to ask her. But she just stopped dead, she didn't turn, and I was like flying towards her. Like about just so close to hitting, like rear-ending me. And I swear at the last second to the left. And then there's this guy, like literally to my left, who's, literally, I could just reach him. And I was like, shit, like, did a right hand turn to dodge him. So I had to do like two turns in like 5 seconds of having like a near fatal collision. And that was actually like the third time I'd ever ridden a motorbike.
No, okay.
And it frightened the shit out of me. And then shortly after that I did have an accident, and that made me realise that I needed to slow down and not be a dick. And I was, all I did, like, it was on a road that was being laid, so it was all just gravel at the time, and I was going too fast, like I said, I was being a dick.
Not appropriate for the street.
Exactly, not appropriate for the street. exactly right. And I had to brake suddenly, and the two people I was with, they were experienced riders, they've been riding for years, so they were fine. But I braked, but I only used one brake instead of two, so the bike skid, and the back wheel came out so far that I could see it. Like I saw it before I came off, I was like, oh, like that. And I went over the handlebars, basically like just landed flat on my chest and cut my palms and my feet. So I was wearing flip-flops and no gloves. So yeah, my palms and my feet, and I scraped my knee a little bit, and that was it. So I was very lucky there. But it was like, it was an eye-opener, yeah. I still drive like a dick.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to speed, you know.
Yeah, in these countries I like to go it as well. I intend to do it as well.
I like to drive, I like to drive fast in situations that I know I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, this highway here from Kuhl to Chennai, or even further into the north, is a quite highway to go fast with a scooter.
Yeah.
And I've been like 100 there. You're normally not allowed to go 100, but it's just it's
so
okay.
like, especially if you're in like Asian countries, in a long stretch of highway, it's quite empty.
Yeah.
And speed limits don't really apply.
Yeah, and if you just
go as fast as you want.
Yeah, and if you get to red, yellow, green,
you generally just go anyway.
No, you go to the front. That's one good thing about just driving a motorbike. And then after green light, you can just go through and there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing in front of you. You can just go, and the locals are not as driving as fast as you do. So you just go past everybody, and that's a pretty good feeling. So you're in a scooter, right? That's what made me think about it, because you're on a fucking scooter. In Germany, they're allowed to go like 50 maximum, like normally like 30 or
50,
something.
What, cc?
No, kmh.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just 50 kmh, and here you can put them to over 100 if you want to.
What about, is it the Autobahn?
Autobahn, yes.
That's where you can go as fast as you want, isn't it?
Not always. Like there is.
But they've changed it now.
It's
you can do whatever.
No, it's an appropriate. You should drive like 130. It's recommended, but then you just there are places in which you are just allowed to go 120 or
120
kilometers per hour, or 100, or but that's
like
normally
set.
it. Yeah, but it's set, and if it's gone, you can go as fast as you can.
Okay.
Or if you want, as fast as you want.
You've got the choice.
Yeah, you've got the choice. That's right.
Whereas if you drive too slow on the motorways in England, then it's illegal. You have to. I think it's illegal anyway. I mean, you can't just do like 40 miles an hour. I mean, the speed limit is 70. I don't know. I know you can't obviously exceed the speed limit. You can do, but I don't know if there's a limit. Like you can't drive too slow.
Oh yes, you can on the autobahn.
Yes.
You have to drive 60 kilometers
To
per hour.
maintain that speed. I guess you can. Yeah, you do in England now.
You have to drive 60 kilometers per hour,
Yeah,
and if you can't, you're not allowed to go on the street. So
it can be just as dangerous.
yeah, exactly. So you've heard about in Germany there are many tractors right now going to the big cities from the farmers to.
So how the fuck do they get to the city?
They just drive 2 days.
What?
By land, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they plan it
On
and
the
they drive there.
On the autobahns and stuff.
If they're allowed to, there are tractors that can go 60.
Really?
Yeah, big ones. Other ones just drive through the country.
Yeah. So the ones that can't do that speed, they go through the country.
Yeah, and they have to go like 2 days, but it's a great way. Since I'm coming from a mill, I'm really interested in that, or I'm really looking forward for the farmers to achieve something with it, because they're treated like shit from the politics and so on. They've got no chance basically against the big concerned companies. They're just fucked. They can't maintain anything. Yeah, I'm getting tired as well. I mean, it's 10 before 10.
Really? That's quite a lengthy amount of time.
It's a lengthy amount of time, that's right.
We've done well.
We've done well, yeah. But
I think the first 38 minutes, whatever it was, I think that was a very good amount of time. Very good amount of time, I think. Or are you gonna like edit it together? Like, I don't know.
I'll just leave it like that.
See
but
as it is.
I actually, it is on right now.
Yeah.
But I think the last part was better than the first part because we didn't have the cam, and we felt better, both.
Guess so. Yeah.
I probably made you believe that it's not working, but I felt better without the cam.
I preferred it without a cam. Yeah, for sure. But
because it's
we
not
also
so.
had an audience too.
Yeah, I don't have no.
We also had 2 girls, didn't we? We also had Emily and Letty watching, listening.
If they want to watch it, they can.
No, they were watching us, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was hard. Yeah, that's right.
Added
It wasn't so chilly at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the end, it was much better, I believe.
It was more laid
So
back.
I should probably.
Whatever you want.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know with the
It's
cam.
yours, you know, it's yours.
Yeah, I don't know with the cam.
You don't have. You can take the cam off and then just have it as it is.
Yeah,
Or,
it's.
like, cut it down, whatever.
Yeah, or make. Yeah, like a video for YouTube is better to have a video as well, you know. But for podcasts, you don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need it.
But for videos, or if you cut points out of it and you do it on Instagram or Facebook or something like that, it's better to have.
I want to get your details by the way, or else I won't be able to listen to it or see it. So,
Yeah.
have you got Facebook or?
Yeah, I've got Facebook as well, but yeah, I'm not into Facebook. I've never used it really.
Or do you want to do just WhatsApp? You got WhatsApp?
I've got WhatsApp, yeah.
There you go.
I've got WhatsApp. I've got YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'll subscribe to YouTube.
And,